Today we'll be talking about like a continuous aspect of our work and then our project. Like I'm going to do like a preview. I also want to share with you about OpenDEM. OpenDEM is Open Digital Elevation Model. So it is basically a portal for sharing um, 3D dimension, and you can get the different types of this across the world here. These are places you can get archive data, which about a bit started from 2011, and then you have other things like here you have aspect of machine learning, direct keyboard convocation interpolation, SRTM DEM, SRTM contour. This is about Europe. This is where you can download. So I want us to talk about this. After this, we go straight into previewing on our project. So here I came to OpenDEM. It is called OpenDEM.info, and then I'm going to download. And you see here, you see SRTM. SRTM is shuttle rider topography mission, and then you can get a contour with the interval of 10 meters. You can see different other distance you can read across it. And then if you want to download contour as SRTM as contour, that is as a shapefile, you click on this, and now this is actually going to open this for you, which supposed to be the map of the entire world. So all you need to do is to zoom to the place of interest, like you can see here. Now in this place of interest you can see different tiles here, and if you look here you can see the tiles of this particular one. So on that note, I am going to open up my own project here. Let me launch it on the Google Earth, and this is where I'm supposed to work on my project. So it's loading, and then it is taking me down to my own project location, and this is where I supposed to do my own project. So this is my own location. So I'm supposed to produce a topographic map here showing every features here, and as well as 3D. So if you look closely on this particular place I zoomed to, you will see that this is Port Harcourt and it is somewhere here. So I just want to like get a glimpse of where it is. Now this is Port Harcourt, you see here. This is other side of like Yenogua. So it means that the place that I should be looking at, this is Bonny. So if you go back to the Google Earth, you see the Bonny here. So that means it's straight to where this particular distance end. So I have to go up a bit to see Port Harcourt. So it means here, this is Bonny, and that means that the tiles I want to work on, where I am personally working on, is within here. As you can see, somewhere around Port Harcourt here. So I am in this particular tile. So what I need to do is to click on that tile here. You see here, each of them is gridded into these different tiles. So you can see here. So I have this particular tiles here for this particular one. So this is the part I am here. So in this place, I can download the contour here as a shapefile. Now this is aspect details about it. It is going to be in a shapefile. This is the size, the interval is in this, and you can see other information you want to see about it by clicking here. Now this is the tiles I want to work on. Now if you go to here, you can also get a bathymetric view. You can see this Nabat bathy, and then also here you can see here, if you click on this, you go to the SRTM, and you can see information about it. You can download. This is for Germany. This is where SRTM data then being processed. Then here also you can get SRTM contour like the same way we try getting up here, and then it will bring you here. Here it will show you different places you can download the SRTM. Now this is SRTM itself. You go to download, you go to SRTM as contour, and then this will give you into different grid, as you can see. then you zoom close to the place of interest, and when you zoom close to the place of interest, you should be able to download the particular tiles you want. Like I showed us, the way I now try to find the place of my place of interest. So you see here, this is Port Harcourt, and this is the place I want to download here. So with this, you should be able to download this here. So if you look here, you will see that I have Port Harcourt here, and say it says press Ctrl and draw to select the desirable data. So if you hold your Ctrl and drag, you see that automatically you can download the data here. So this is a way to get your data download. So for me, based on what I see on Google Earth here, now if you look here, you see that I have One here, down here, which goes in this, and this is Port Harcourt. It is right on top of this. You see Eneka on top of it. So if you go return back here, you can see One here. Then on top of One here, you see that I am around, this is Okereka. So if you return back to Google Earth, and you can see Okereka here, so it means you still need to go further to this road intersection where you have a little more. Then this is here, this is Okereka. So you need to go up here where you have a little more here. Now when you get to little more here, you can see this roundabout here, and if I go back to it again, you will see this particular roundabout here. So it means I need to download within this place. I return back to the same place. To make sure I capture the whole place, I am going to hold Control from here a bit and drag across like this. So once I drag across like this, it's going to come up with this kind of this say don't download more than the file at once, otherwise the provider will not renew the contract. So you see this thing here. Now this is the data you selected, this is the contour. If you click on it now, automatically that is going to take you in here and the data will be downloaded. So you can see here the data of this particular location has been downloaded. Now what else do I need to do again? Since I want to make extraction of these data, what did I download? Let me quickly launch ArcMap so that I can bring in what I download in here. So I'm going to open ArcMap here, then I will go to download, and then I'll go to download here, and this is the data I've selected. So I am going to cut it. I will return back to where I'm coming from, and then I'll probably open a new folder here, and I will say my topo project. So let me create a new folder for it. So once I am here, I can paste this particular listing here, which I have actually downloaded. That means no is not easting, and the easting and other is the longitude and latitude I have downloaded. I can click on extract all, which I am going now to extract. So these have been extracted. When you open it, you will see that what you have there is a shape file that is contour. So once the Google Earth open, I should be able to have once the ArcMap open, I should be able to have this particular thing that I've downloaded imported here. So this is a way you can download the contour of any particular place. This thing is based on SRTM, which is, you can see here. If you go to download, you will see SRTM, and SRTM, as we all know, is simply the shuttle radar topography mission, and this is also related to NASA, and you read more about it, where it covers and what is the resolution and rest of them. So this can actually be used. So I'm going to take this off, return back to here, copy the directory, and then come back to the ArcMap here, and I will paste this. So when I paste the directory where I copy here, add, and you can see this is the contour, and I will be able to import it here. Now if you look here, this is the contour of the place I have downloaded. So if I zoom a bit close, you can see the way the contour follow. So if you look here, you see that there is anomalies on the contour here, as you can see here. But sometimes what I used to do in this kind of situation, if you are so much interested in using this type of contour, as you see here, if you return back here, you can see the water and the tributaries, the way it follows. You can see up here. the way it follows up here. So the next thing you need to do is return back here, go to, like I said, you can use BBBike. That's what you want to use. So use BBBike like this, and you should be able to extract this particular data the way it is. So it comes up here. As it comes up, you close up this, go to the location of your choice, so you can zoom out a bit, or you go here and search. There is option for you to search up here. Then if not, you just have to just scroll out back down like this, and then return back to Nigeria here, and then go to the place of interest. For me, I already know where I need to go. So this is Port Harcourt, this is Bonny here. I will zoom very close, looking for Ilelenwo. This is Okreka. Now you zoom up a bit, this is where you are interested in. Now if you look at here, you see a Leka here, somewhere around here. So you need to zoom that same way until you find the place of interest. So for me, I don't know the place well, so I have to look for something Lengwa. This is Lengwo around here, Rumodara. So I have to go back to the browser and make sure I get to, this is Woji, and after Woji, this is Eliozu here, and then that means where I need to be looking, this is Eliozu here, and I need to look for a place that look exactly like this, and this is it around here. As you can see here, this is this roundabout, and if you look here, this is this waterway here, which is exactly here. So I am looking for within here this train station pass around it. So I will return back to this same place and look at the train station here. So for me to make sure I capture it well, I can now select here and say here, this particular place, this is where I need. So because it is too much, I can center it a bit here to make sure I capture everything. Now this is much because this is where the train station is located. I can reduce it a bit, and once I am done, my email is already here, and I can put it maybe PH, whatever name I want. My email is already written here. This is the size, and I will click extract. So clicking extract, it tells you that this is the place you cover, this is the coordinate, this is the function format is going to be. You should be able to have it in 2 to 7 minutes. So in a bit, I will wait for 2 to 7 minutes before I can check my email, and it should be there. So in that vein, I will return back to this for us to continue talking a bit. Now if you look here, you see that this contour is not really what it's supposed to be. So because you have to rebuild the contour, and there are different ways you can rebuild it. Now if you look here, you see that the interval is in 25 meters, meaning that this particular contour is 25 meters interval, which might not be what you want. So this is one way you can get this contour, download this contour as a contour, as a shapefile. Then there are several other ways you can get data. For example, if you go to OpenTopography, which we are going to talk about probably extensively another day. So if you go to OpenTopography here, and then come to OpenTopography here as home, so you should be able to download this digital elevation model, so you can see OpenTopography here. And if you want to explore the data, you are here. This is data here. Find the data, open data catalog. So if you want to find a map data, you click on this first one, that is going to take you to here. Now you see different types of data you can see here. This is USGS. This is all these ones are locked, and the ones that are not locked. So you have to go to Africa, come to Nigeria here, and go to the place of interest. So I am in Port Harcourt now, and this is Eleme, this is Obiapo, this is Oyigbo Okereka. Then you keep on zooming, then this is Eleme Okereka, Port Harcourt. Then if you keep on zooming, you probably see the rail train station. This is the train station, and this is the place of my place of interest. So as you can see here, these are different data sets. I prefer using Alos. It was 30 meters. When you click on it, you see where Alos cover. You can see the whole part here. So if you zoom very close, you see that within this place you can get Alos. Then if you zoom, keep on zooming to the place of interest, you can see Port Harcourt here. This is Obiapo East-West Road, and this is the place I'm supposed to be working on. So with this, if you want to select a region, you click here to select a region. So once you select, click on it, it will open this kind of dialog for you. So you hold and open it up like this, then automatically it's going to bring you this rest of the data here. You can see here SRTM, you can see Alos 30 meters, you can see different other types of data, Copernicus elevation, which is open. Any of these things that you see here that are open. If you want to get a bathymetric survey data, you can see here about bathymetry, that's bathymetry data. So you can see different types of other ways you can get the data here, Copernicus elevation, the grid, and rest of them. So if I need Alos, as you can see here, this is probably what I need. Then you see me now opening up Alos here. Then it's going to give me this kind of the metadata, everything about the data. Then and you can see here the way it's open up here. So if I'm interested in downloading this, I can get this downloaded. And up here you see here download the product. You can see here I can download the product here. So once I click, this is global, this is ellipse. So if I click on this, you should be able to now open up something like this for me, now trying to tell me to select the area of interest that I want. So your own is get it, open available data, download the bulk raster. So once you are done with on this, the next thing you guess you can sign in, and this should be able to get you to download the data you want to download. So you zoom to the place of interest. I want to assume this is Port Harcourt. Yeah, this is Port Harcourt here. So always know that you need to click on this, as once you click on this, you should be able to drag and then the data you want here. I see it is highlighted, so the next thing is it will generate this type of thing for you, the way it generated for me. And you see here it is asking me what type of data format I want it. I want it in this image or this, I need it in GeoTIFF. So in GeoTIFF, the next thing I do is, what is the title of your job? I can write PH. What is the description of yours? I can just write elevation. What is your email? I will select up my email here if I don't want to sign it. If not, you just click on submit, and this, once this is submitted, it will tell you thank you for your submission, we are reviewing your data and rest of them. So it is just going to extract this and give you this kind of download. You see here the job title, the data sets, the pH, the submission, when it is going to be completed, the duration, and the last date updated. So if you look at this now, it have completely done this. Time it have completed, it takes 10 seconds and the job have been completed. Now this is the result. So if I click on this, as you can see, it will download this particular distance for me. Now I have two datas. I'm returning back to my email, and if I go down to my email, I don't want to close up this, so let me return back, adding a fresh email here. Then that's going to open up the email for me, and once it open up, this is it up here, and I can open this up, and you see I'm able to download the BBBike that I downloaded. It has been downloaded. Then if you go to download, I'm just going to click on download here, and you see that I have the raster which I have downloaded. Then I also have the planner which I have downloaded. So I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to cut it. Then return back here to inside the folder where I am working as my topo project, and I'm going to paste it. Now I have two data. The first one is this shapefile which I'm going to extract right now. So click on extract all and click extract, and that is going to extract this for me. While I am waiting for that, I can import this which I'm going to select here, and I'm going to copy and then return back here, click on add data, and a step backward, another step backward, and you can see the planets, this thing that we have downloaded here, and I'm going to click here to open it up. So if you go in here and select the building, click OK, and that is going to load everything in for you. So this is my area of interest, as you can see here. So probably let me zoom to the building. So I'm going to right click and zoom to building, and you see here this is the place I am working on here. So you can see the road and the rest of them. So what else do I need to do? I will now see here, look at the buildings I have selected, every building that is here. If you return back here, You can see this particular place in Rumukurushi, and if I come back here again, you can see the same place here. You can see it up here. So let me turn off the building because it is slowing down the view. So if you see here now, it is the same place that I have here. Now for the issue of design, for me to make it look nice, now this looks more vegetated area. I can go here, and for example, like I said, if you type something like this here, then you see that it gives you this type of way. This is a different way. You can see like scatter tree. I can change this thing to make it like a bit green, and if you apply this, it will, sorry, I selected the wrong layer, so it will, okay, right layer. So you will see that now it shows me these places, maybe trying to display the way the land, the distance shows in here. You can see the vegetation here. So if you add a building to it, you should be able to see the way it shows you up here. Now this is the first way you can do it, or you still open up here and go down here. This is mangrove. You can also select, this is the way it's supposed to be. Now here, if I turn off this layer, you will see that I have a natural here, which is the vegetation. So you can also like, which also shows the vegetation, because if you turn off this layer, you should be able to see also the vegetation. So with this, you should be able to now have a way you will arrange your map to look better than the best way it is ought to look. Now look here, this is waterway. You can also see the waterway here. Now there is something missing out here. Now let me compare to you what is missing out here. Now I'm going to the base map here, and I am going to, like, let's check what we have. And this is why I prefer not using BBBike sometimes, because the way you are going to have the display is not going to be really encouraging for me. Sometimes I don't prefer BBBike because there are some of the features that ought to be left aside. Now let's talk about the features here. Now if you look here, you see that if I turn off this layer of base map, look here, the background here, as you can see where I am placing my mouse, if I turn it up again, you see that these have a kind of leisure or sort of things like playground, but the BBBike didn't capture it. Now let me turn off the building a bit and then zoom close to this place so that you understand what I'm saying. If you turn on these things, you see that this particular place, this is Shell residential area. In the Shell residential area, there is a place they call golf course there. This BBBike did not have a caption for this. It doesn't capture it. It only gives us these features. Now, but if I turn on this, off this, you see that there is nothing related to that here. But when you have, look at the base map of this, which is the place the BBBike extracted this data, you will see that these particular features here, which it actually makes this look holistically better than what it is. So if you turn off here, also go close to this particular place here right now, you see that we don't, this is supposed to be like what do you call it, this particular place looks like a commercial area, but if you turn it off now, you will see that BBBike didn't capture this aspect of commercial area, which poses a challenge to missing data. So for me, I prefer going to the overpass like I showed us, because I would have want us to show us using quick OSM, but this is going to take us enough time because we need to start installing QGIS, but we are going to get to that, how you can quickly extract the same thing, but I think I previewed it with us last time. So this is not going to give you that kind of pure understanding of what you need to do, because some features are being missed up. Now if you look at where we have the waterways here, if you look at this color here, you see is a waterway which is captured, and in natural here, you see I turn on natural here, there is nothing here, but let me turn off the natural and turn on natural here. You will see that the water body is being captured here. You can see the way it is. So this is the type of things that is missing, and I would prefer us to capture all these kind of features, because if you query natural, you will see that this shows you a waterway and this place shows you a wetland. But if you turn it off and put the natural here, you see that those features does not exist here, and this is one of the reasons why I have to show us how both of them works. So in that vein, I am going to go into Arc toolbox to bring my area, just like a caption that I want you to note. Now, while I'm waiting for my Arc toolbox to open, so you can see here we have vegetations here. You can put up your own vegetation that way. So our this thing is to make sure you have a kind of topographic map that have a very fantastic visualization, capturing all of them. So if you have seen OSGov topographic map, you really understand what I'm saying. Like if you want to make a SOCON registration and they're asked to bring a topographic map, you're expected to beat up to SOCON standard, and that is one of the things you need to learn up now. So you need to follow the whole process as it goes, understand how to put this kind of road. For example, if you return back to this, the way you're going to make your road visualize here, the two-part road here, you have to make it looks like the way the road is. So if you go to the line here, underline, you will see different other types of features on how the road are meant to look. Now you select the primary road, the secondary road, and tertiary road, and present them the way it's supposed to be. So why I'm not bothered about the assignment is because for me, I am not chance I'm supposed to do my own assignment because I gave myself to see if I can meet up with whatever we are doing together. But I realized that I am really choked up and I am not able to do my own assignment. So that's why I just feel like, oh, no problem of worrying anyone, since for me I was able to do my own too. So I'm returning back here and I'm going back to where my project is located, and then I'm going to select my own here, copy, go up here, then paste it here, add the directory which I gave up here to KML. Sorry, it's supposed to be from KML. So I'm going from KML here, down here, go up here, then Lisa, I will call you back. So go down here, go to my own project, select it and open it up here, and I am just going to put it in a default folder. So I am trying to load the KML file here, and once I load it up, you can see the name here. I want to leave it wherever it is by default. So for me not to look for it, let me just copy this and then click OK, and it's going to make the conversion. And once it is done, it should be able to add the shapefile up for me. So while I'm waiting for it, is not displaying here. I can go to results to check whether it's working, and you can see the KML file is on that same layer here, is still processing. So in that way, I am just going to like wait for it, and once it comes, I should be able to have the shapefile which is going to convert for me here. Now what am I going to do with that, with the shapefile? I'm going to use that shapefile to do clipping to make sure that I selected the area of interest the way it's supposed to be. And if you see here now, let me turn off the building and let me have this. So if you look here now, you see that this is the area I'm supposed to work on, which the data I have downloaded have covered. Now what am I supposed to do? If you check here, I have a lot of buildings, so I can do select by location, go to location here. What am I interested in? I am interested in the building. For example, I'm going to select building and I'm going to put this location, which is this polyline here, and I'm going to click apply. So when I click apply, it's going to read through it like this, and if I turn on the building, you see that the building within these layers of this has been selected. All of them within this layer has been selected. So if you look here, you see that this building within this has been selected. So if you look here, there is a mistake I made here, which is select by location. If you look here, say selecting features that intersect with the source features. So no, that is supposed to be within, I have to say that within the source feature. So when it is within, it means I need to select the one that is within it. So this is what I'm supposed to do. you see different types of that completely contain the source layer. You search, so it's going to select the one that are completely in the source layer. So these are different types of selection you can do. So once you are done with that, you can now export the building. Then you go again. I'm going to go back again to the selection. I can say select by location again as well. I will select other features I need to select. I go to geoprocessing and I will clip the road, clip everything I need to clip. So what I need you to do is that whatever you're doing, whether road, it's supposed to come, it should not pass around this circle. So when you are done with the same thing, switch on to your layer. Already you have your contour, whichever way you get your contour. And then I'm going to zoom now to the same polyline. I'll zoom to the location. You see right now that this is the circle where it is. Then I'll do those where we're supposed to arrange our this thing. That is the layout, and then I should be able to have my topographic map showing those contours. So if your own is okay in this orientation, you go on with it. If it is not okay, always go to the page setup and change the orientation to landscape and then click OK. Now this should be able to give you a bigger view where you are going to drag to this and then take this one out the way it's supposed to be and should be able to arrange it better. So once you do that, clip it out and make sure that none of these features are crossing the circle. So once you do that, you design it the way you're supposed to design it very well. Remember, you can use elevation data by either Alos or any of them. Whatever that you need is left for you. So all you need to do is get these things like this, extract it, convert it, do KML, use Kriging, get the contour, smooth the contour. In aspect of smoothing the contour, we have talked about it, but you always go to cartographic tools and then go to generalization and you go to line smoothing and then make sure that the line of the contour cut the way it's supposed to curve. Check the elevation and see whether what is the interval that best suit it. So in that way, once you are done, you should be able to arrange it, put the legend the way it's supposed to be, and able to come up with a pure topographic map as it's supposed to be. So there are different ways you can make your topographic map look. So make sure, like I said, something looking like this. You create something like this. As you see here, you create something like this. This is what the topo background is supposed to look. This is what the topo background is supposed to look. This is what the topo background is supposed to look. So you can do a different types of topographic. You see the way it is. Make sure you look for something, make it the way it's supposed to, ought to be like this. You can use once you create something like this, having your contour, slim your contour and make your contour at intervals. You can also choose not to make your contour like this. What I mean is this: when you're plotting your topo here, let me turn off the building. So once you have your topo here, you might not need to label your contour. What you can do is you can get a grid and grid a point across these intervals. When you grid a point across it, let me say 10 meter, then a point here as 0, another point here, another point here, another point here, and you pass across the elevation data. Elevation data I mean is that in that point you label that place as 200, 210, 215, 230. What I mean is if you look closely to this particular elevation here, this particular contour, let me try open it in new tab and see whether it will be bigger. Now if you look closely to this, you will see that there did not write the contour interval on it because it will be clustered. So what they did here is, if you look close, you see that there is an elevation they put here. This is not clear anyway, but there's an elevation they put here. They write the elevation on it. So this is a way you make your topographic map look better than what it ought to look. So if you look here, it is also here. If you look somewhere here, this is what they did here. If you also look somewhere here, this is also what is done here. So you make your elevation, instead of you writing a number that will make it cluster, you just put here 30. You see here 29, you see here. So anybody who need to read this need to know that, oh, this is 30, so the person can read the contour at an interval at 29. So find a best way you can make your contour be the best. So I want you to take your time and do it, so that when you be doing your project, you know how this is done. Or when you have a kind of project that you need to do a pure detailing, and you know how we work. And then this will also show you how you are going to arrange your data to the perfect way. What I mean is that visual comparable is also in text. If you look at the road now, you see that the road, the color is really jam packing. You can reduce this thing to 0.1, for example, and when you reduce it, you see that the road color becomes small. Now when it becomes small, if you look at the land use is too harsh, showing much. I can decide to make the display a little bit smaller, so that it will change the display to what it is. Now what I mean is, I'm going here and I'm going to make this thing 50. If I click apply, you see that the land cover, the land use is no more dominating. So this is a way you need to make it done. And if you remember, for those who understand JSON a bit, you will understand what I'm going to show you here on the best way you can make using heel shade. Because when you have your contour, if you have your contour, like when you do your Kriging, you can use the heel shade to get what I'm trying to say. A bit of what I'm saying is, if you make your contour look visually great, you should be able to interact with what you have up there. So like a bit trying to look for something, like for example, if you look at this particular map now that I did produce up here, I use a bit of the heel shade. If you look here right now, you see that if you look here, this is exactly what I'm saying. I have 67 here, and I now use a heel shade to now supplement it. You see now, this is the contour. I see the way the contour shows. If you look down this way, you can see that this is 67. If you keep on going probably to this side, you will see another number there. This will show you how the contour looks. Now if you look at the contour here, now this is a bit visually not looking nice because there is confliction on it, so the colors are not really what it's supposed to be. But if you look here, you see that in a bit way, the way the contour follow 10, 20 and rest of them. So find the best way you can make your contour visually great. Now another thing I'm talking about is, if you look at this color background here, you will see that I have this kind of color here, which you see here, trying to blend it with this. So the whole thing you need to know is the way you arrange your this thing, the way you arrange your topographic map. Now this is a pipeline in Akwa Ibom, trying to show the water body, some elevation part and some ways, and then the land use, which try to show where 150 pipeline. And so it is left for you to find the best way you can make your contour look better than another person. So take reference, go to internet, search for topographic map and see the best way you can visualize your photographic map. So this is a bit for it, and I think if you have any question on this aspect of working with a topographic map, so please kindly ask me now so that we make those clarification. Is there any question, or we are all okay? Go ahead.
Okay, my question is concerning the grid contour you talked about, like the grading the contour without writing the number, since
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think that was quite clear to me.
Okay, this is what I mean. Let me turn off this, and let me turn off everything here, leaving only point features. I guess that will okay, this is exactly what I mean. If you look at here, you will see that I have a point here. Now I want to use road as a contour. Now instead of me going into making every contour line count, because when you make too much contour interval, it will start looking noisy. Now example is this. If you look here, you see that here there is a contour interval here, 10 15 10 15. It is a bit crowded. See here, it is a bit crowded. It is starting to cause noise. You see 10 0, it is causing a noise. 15 15, see, it's causing so much noise. So what I could possibly do, instead of me doing that, I will now grid a point the same way I taught us how to make a grid. That is using here, go to somewhere here, data management tools, go to sampling here, go to Fishnet. You can create a random point here or use a Fishnet. Now when you create a random point, it means that you have a point here, 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 randomly within here. So what I will need to do is that this point here, for example, if I go to this particular point, for example, and you see now the point elevation there is, I will extract the elevation data to it, and I want to assume that the place I have actually extracted is this particular point here. So I am going to label this particular point with that elevation. Now I'm labeling it with name, but I'm going to label it with the elevation value of those particular places. So I'm going to display label and change the label to, let's say, OSM ID, and click label. Now what I do here, for example, is I want to assume that this is the elevation. So you see here that I have 73 point something. Let me assume that's what it is, 129. So this makes this point interval, it just only have this point, those point around it. It is not now, it is no more what you see as the contour intervals. So anybody who sees this knows that this is, oh, this is 73, it means this is 129. That means 73, the person will have to count the contour 1 2 3 4 5 and say, okay, it is 10 3 3 meters interval. This is 73, this should be 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 80 until you get to 129. Then here you have 131, so the person knows, oh, this contour is 120, 29, 130, 131. I don't know what I get what I'm trying to say. So with these intervals, you should be able to see, oh, this is what this person means here. And that is why I give us this kind of example. I am not seeing a topo map that is as clean as what I'm supposed to, because all these things are not looking the resolution. But if you look far with this particular one I am trying to open up here, all these ones, you will see what I'm trying to say here. See here, for example, if you look here, this is a contour, though this one a bit have a line on it. You can see it here. You see the intervals, this look better. Not every contour shows here, because if you label this in 700, 701, 700, before you know it, it will look congested. Now look at what happened here. This is 89, the next thing is 700, 700, 800, 887. Now it makes this contour look better, not congested, because once you put label every contour here, it simply means that the contour is going to be congested here, just like what I showed you I did here. It is so much congested, I am not comfortable with it. If you look here, it's so much congested. You look at 5 5 minus 5 5 20 15 15 15. No, it doesn't look visually appealing. So you need to understand that. And if you look at what I showed you on this one, you see that the contour, I think I've missed up the place, but this is looking a bit far better than others. See here, the contour is there. Now the point I am talking about can be this point you see, 1 2 3 4. Now instead of me putting all these contours like this, I just need to label it 700, 800. Then I will put all these points here. This point here can represent the same elevation. This will be 700. I'll put the point here, 800. So anybody who sees this knows that the elevation for here is this. I think I might see exactly a kind of what I'm trying to show you here, because I know that I did a kind of project that shows exactly what I am trying to say. But I can't really get to tell you this is where it is, so it might take us time for me to show you what I'm talking about, because I realize that some of us have a kind of point that might take us time to finish up. So the best thing we could do is using that approach, so that you will learn how it works and how you are going to get that done better. So that is what I am thinking. um I won't be able to show us. Maybe when I see it, I can share it with us on WhatsApp. But there is a particular map that I used the same approach because it was to produce it to OSGov standard. And in that OSGov standard, we need to make it that way. And that's it. So I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes, I do.
Alright. Do you have another question?
Okay, so if I understand you perfectly, we can use points like different points in the on the map to if we get a point on the map, we just go to the properties like you showed here and then label it with the contour number.
Yeah,
And
that's
in a
what.
case where we don't have points, like see that for a map that we don't really have those points, can the buildings be used in place of those points, or do we just insert random points at random places and then label them?
Yeah, it also seems like you didn't really understand what I'm saying by that point. I didn't use the point. I used that as an example. Do you get? I didn't use that particular point. I am just using that point as an example, not that particular point. What I mean is this point is I use this point. This point you see here is a point of the locations. You see here Catholic Church, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Assemblies of God, AICC, and rest of them. Now, what I ask you to do in this case is go to here, go to Fishnet now, for example, create a point. If it is create a point along the line, create a random point, for example. If you go to create a random point, I want you to create a random point on this particular place now. And then what intervals do you want to create? You select what is the limit. For example, let me show you what I'm saying. Go here, create a random point. When you say create a random point, go to where you want to save it. I want to save it here. The output of the feature class, I'm going to write it rand. What is the constraint? What is the feature you are looking at? I'm going to use Kinsley here, which is polyline. It's going to read through the polyline here. And what is the point? The longest one is 100, but I want it to be in meters. So I want to assume that I want to take a measurement here a bit to check what I'm going to measure. So from here to here is about 5,000 meters. So it is big, that is the length is 5,000 meters. So I will randomly say that I need it in 500 meters. So I'm going to put 500 meters here as the allowable point I want, and I need about 100 points within here. So if I run this, for example, you see that it is going to now come here. When it's done running, you will see that it will create a point around here. Sorry, I made a mistake. I put a random point around the line, but this is exactly what I mean here. If you see here, you will see that it have created a point here. This point is supposed to scatter inside here, but I used the wrong distance, so it only created a point around this line. Now what am I supposed to do again? I supposed to get this value into it. How do I get this value into it? Remember, when you do your Kriging, you're going to have a raster. When you have that raster here, the raster you have here, go to here, go down to Act Toolbox here, go to Spatial Management Tools here, click on this. when you go here, go to extraction. We have done such a thing. Go to extract value to point. Now when you go to extract value to point, click on this, select that random point, look at the random point here, input the raster, select that Kriging you do. When you select that Kriging, it is going to extract the values of this place, this point are into that particular this point. Once I don't have any elevation data here, once I have it here, click this and check this. The reason is that it's going to get this thing to the nearest neighborhood. That means it is not going to be 25. It's going to be 25.33. We have talked about this. Click OK. Now once it finishes running, it is going to extract a value into this point. Now go to this place and label that particular value with that point you extracted. It will represent the elevation around this scattered point. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, I do.
Alright, so this is it by the way, and I think